I'm not Nick Fuentes. I'm not Sargon, right? I'm not any of those people.
Okay.
Stop
you're
bringing them into it. Yeah, I'm me, right? And I'm here telling you what I actually believe.
You're a beautiful... No, I don't care what you say.
Okay. Vaush, are you a pedophile?
Not to my knowledge. I hope not.
Not to my... What the hell?
So let me ask you a question, okay? So we agree racism is a thing, I imagine. How would you feel? Or let's take a scenario, okay? You're a kid, or you're like a 16-year-old. You've got a father, white father, suburbs, the whole 9 yards, white picket fence. And this father, for the most part, perfectly reasonable person, decent, wears a sweater vest, great guy, okay? But then your sister goes out with a black guy, and your father gets real fucking mad about it. Now, he doesn't say anything like, I think all whites are superior to black people, but he's clearly uncomfortable meeting the guy. He clenches his fist. He talks to his daughter saying like, hey, listen, I want you going out with the right kinds of people, okay? He never outwardly confirms anything, but all of his behavior seems to indicate that he's got a racial bias. Now, do you think it would be fair of me to look at that behavior and say, hey, Dad, you're kind of fucking racist, even though I can point to years of precedent of that dad ostensibly being in favor of racial egalitarianism? This is the joke people make about all the fucking like liberals and Karens who are like these big woke progressives online, but then when it actually comes down to it, they harbor some pretty severe biases. That's my concern. I don't actually place much credence in what people say about themselves. At the end of the day, it's about the actions they engage in.
Then basically, if you are here to establish like whether or not I am a white supremacist, and you're saying that what the standard you're trying to set is don't place credence in what other people say, but you somehow get to act as the voice of authority to your thousands of viewers, and they're supposed to believe what you say. You've kind of discredited like your entire job.
I'm not saying you can't believe what people say. I'm saying you can't believe what people say about themselves. I'm just trying to make arguments as to why a reasonable person might interpret your behavior as racist.
Right, I don't find it very reasonable when my jokes are treated as actual factual statements about my beliefs, but whenever I make actual serious statements about my beliefs, those are disregarded. That's
okay, because jokes are a good way. Jokes are a form of communication that can harbor underlying intent. Do you think it's possible that a person can make racist jokes to signal racism?
Jokes can
harbor
an underlying secret intent. But when you speak non-jokes, apparently that's all deception.
Well,
right? That's the implication.
How would you keep the? I think the audience thing is perfect, because how would you maintain that audience? Like if you had an audience that was used to hearing these racist jokes because they were indeed a bunch of racists, and then you stood up in front of 1,000 people and said things like, you know, I don't care if blacks and whites marry.
Right.
Then all of a sudden everyone would be like, wait a second. They'd be completely confused by this.
Right. Exactly. And you lose all your racist audience. Yeah. But that doesn't count. That's not an action. Okay. That's just part of the grift, right?
I think part of the grift is like you'd have to maintain the fact that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being sarcastic.
No, sarcasm doesn't exist anymore. This is exactly.
That's right.
This is the underlying intent of your message.
Yes. No sarcasm, no jokes allowed on the internet.
Do you want to know what is much, much better than using a joke for that? Giving an actual sincere statement about that.
Because then why is it? I'm very familiar with the content of people like Nick Fuentes. Why is it that whenever he makes sincere statements about his beliefs, he comes?
Because it's funny because that's like he's like the prime example, but I don't know if there is really like another good example to point to of someone who's so obviously racist but says they're not.
Yeah.
And yet he's also a terrible comparison for Count Dankula. So
isn't Fuentes I thought is he Hispanic?
Right, but that's part of the meme is like I don't know if you've ever seen the poll meme where it shows that all the people that are like the most racist on poll are not actually white. Even though they desperately want to be white. And it's really true. And that's what's funny about Nick Fuentes is even though he's like a I don't know, like a quarter Mexican or whatever. And whenever he's talked about it, he's like, oh, you know, I'm like, because there's various, you know, here in America, we think, oh, Mexicans are Mexican. But in Mexico, there's like, they have their own racial, I don't know, I forget what it's called. They have their own racial divisions and ethnic groups. And some of them are more like, have like a stronger ethnic lineage going back to Spain as opposed to the native people in Central and South America.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Nick Fuentes is like, oh, well, I'm really a 1/4 Mexican. And like that fourth is the white part of Mexican. It's from Spain. So I'm really European. You know, it's all bullshit. The whole thing. It's ridiculous.
off very much like a good patriot. Wait, but this is the thing. You keep tripping at the hurdle, dude. I'm trying to pick you up and move you past this goalpost you keep tripping over, okay? I don't care what you say about yourself. I care about your action.
Okay, Vaush. I'm not
trying to help you out. I just want to talk about your actions.
I'm not Nick Fuentes. I'm not Sargon, right? I'm not any of those people.
Okay.
Stop
you're
bringing them into it. Yeah, I'm me, right? And I'm here telling you what I actually believe.
You're a beautiful. No, I don't care what you say. I just want to go over your actions. And when you say stuff like, "Well, what does it matter?" I'm sorry, I'm not going to.
Isn't him coming on the stream and talking about what he believes in action?
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently, this is not an action. This is an anti-action. I don't know.
Even speaking is an action. So.
To try and do your accent, you sound fine. When you say stuff like, how could you possibly say I'm racist just because of a couple of jokes I make, when apart from those jokes I say I'm not racist? Well, because I know lots of racist people who do exactly that, so clearly it's possible.
This is why this is so dishonest. He's not just saying I'm not racist. He's also explaining his belief systems that would go completely counter to racist beliefs, and that's the difference.
To harbor racist intent and express it through jokes.
Okay, Vaush, are you a pedophile?
Not to my knowledge. I hope not.
Not to my. What the hell?
Okay, there.
Vaush. He gives him every opportunity too. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to say that, Vaush. Or just say no.
Yeah, say
hell no."
Yeah, not to my knowledge. It's not a good answer.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
that sounds weaselly. Like maybe she was underage and I didn't know it.
Right.
There are a lot of pedophiles that whenever you ask them that, they say no.
Oh, yeah, okay, true. And that's why when I think a person is a pedophile, I wouldn't ask them. I would look to see if they've engaged in any creepy behavior with underage people.
But how would you really know? Most of that happens in the DMs. No one's really public about that. They like to hide it. Maybe they mask it
really tough. Yeah, inductively reasoning people's beliefs is really difficult.
Maybe they mask it, you know. Maybe they wear the paedophile uniform, which is apparently a beard and glasses and a ponytail.
Are you digging my appearance? Are we going right to insulting one another? I'm trying so hard. I'm reaching out to you, Count. I'm trying to find some.
You're not really reaching out. What you did is at the start of this, you went, "Here are the parameters of the argument, and I've chosen these parameters so that no matter the outcome of this, I am the winner. Go me." Right?
I set a very high threshold for myself. I knew coming into this discussion, there was literally no way for me to prove you're a white supremacist. I hung that up at the door from the very beginning. When I'm trying to...
I love this. He was the one that was harassing Count Dankula again and again to have this fucking conversation. And now that he's like, well, I knew I was setting the bar impossibly high for myself.
Yeah, I'm such an overachiever.
I know. I'm so noble.
I work so hard. I try to achieve the impossible.
So here's the pro tip. If you think something is so impossible as this,
don't do it.
Don't accuse people randomly when you have very little evidence of it, and try to besmirch them on Twitter to force them into a debate if you can't back it up. How about that? Is that really a very difficult, rule to live by?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't get into these debates, because even if you win, which I think it's pretty obvious Count Dankula's won, it's still out there that like every single place this appears, it's like, is Count Dankula a white supremacist? You don't want that next to your name. Come on. Right.
Well, I guess that's why, I don't know what Vaush labeled it, the debate, but Faraday labeled it edgy jokes gone too far, ? So,
oh, yeah.
He doesn't have like his Count Dankula.
Good on him. Good on him.
Yeah.
To do is show you the reasons why I think you are, and I'm interested in hearing your criticisms of my analysis of your actions.
Okay, then that's fine.
See, I guess I should change the title, because I wrote "Is Dank a Nazi?"
Yeah, I know you should change.
Maybe I should change the title.
But do it after the video, because we can.
That's right. After we get all the views, there's where our morals end. After we get the views, then I'll change the title. Yeah.
Hey, we're not lying. We're not lying to our audience. Come on, we're being honest here.
Totally upfront with the dishonesty. Yes.
It's not dishonest. It's totally honest.
Well, the immorality, I guess. We're honest about the immorality.
We know how to get attention. Is it immoral? Is it immoral to be as bright and attention getting his ass.
It sounds a lot like did Vaush suddenly get invited into the stream? Where,
Oh
where
my
did Adam
God,
go? Oh my
you're
God!
terrible.
I can hear the voice of Vaush all of a sudden.
You're terrible.
Say the best way to do it would be to ask me, you know, do I share beliefs with white supremacists?
It doesn't matter if I ask.
Like that. Yes,
we need to look at your actions.
So basically, the secret hidden meaning.
Vaush should have brought the lie detector. Like he totally fucked up. He wants a polygraph, is what he needs.
Right.
Behind my spicy memes are what we really need to look at here. But my actual sincere statements, you know.
Okay, let's go back to the racist dad. Let's go back to the racist dad. If we could talk to that dad about the racism, do you think it's reasonable to accuse that dad of being racist? Or say like, hey dad, I think you might have a little bit of a weird racist thing about your daughter's boyfriend. Do you think that might be like a thing you could do?
Yeah,
this is great. He totally sets this up perfectly. You remember this part?
No.
Something that you could do, because that's actually something tangible that he's done. Basically,
well, all he's done is say things which can be interpreted as racist, which you've done more of than the dad has in this analogy.
Okay, but here's the thing is, right? Let's say right that you had a dad who likes to make the occasional racist joke at the dinner table. You know, some people laugh and other, but then his daughter brings Big Tyrone home. 6'8", shoulders like the side of a bus, and instead the dad's really friendly with him and going, "Hi, how you doing? Come on in. Do you want a beer?" Right? But would you then say that basically that's completely discredited because he's made years of racist jokes, but when he actually, you know, was confronted with a situation like that in the real world, instead of acting racist or displaying a racial bias, he acted like a normal fucking person?
Are you asking me if it's
Look, Vaush's brain is like breaking here with this analogy. He's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? Obviously this guy's a racist fuck.
Yep.
You can't make racist jokes and not be racist. He's like, that makes absolutely no sense at all.
Possible for a person to be racist and have a black friend?
Oh, no.
No, that's not what I asked you. I asked you that question.
Oh, so bad. It's so bad. He was so close to getting it.
I know. Well, the whole black friend argument, it's such a dishonest argument on top of it anyway, because obviously here's the problem. First of all, if you're like someone who's a white supremacist, okay, and I don't mean the bullshit definition that Vaush is like, I mean the real definition, you're not gonna have a black friend at all.
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yes.
And if you're a neo-Nazi or one of these people, you're not gonna have any black friends. Okay. No. So
that's how you become a neo-Nazi. You don't have any black friends.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yeah. And so the whole like black friend thing is stupid because it only applies to the whole like implicit racism thing. Like, oh, you're like you're not implicitly racist. You're subconsciously racist. It doesn't apply to these sorts of arguments.
Yeah.
And also, it's sort of like, again, this is part of the witch trial, right? Because if someone says you hate X number of people or X type of people, and you say, well, wait a minute, I'm friends or in a relationship with the people you're claiming I hate, is it not inductive, deductive evidence to the contrary? If you can't truly know someone's mental state?
Then you have to look at their relationships.
Right. So the whole big friend thing is such a dishonest argument.
Yeah, it is.
That is what you asked me.
I think the reason why they throw that argument out is because they want to imply that the black friend is like cover. That really,
it's a token. Yeah,
they're racist, but you know that's just your way of covering for your racistness.
Right. Like, oh, you're gonna go out there and purposely try to find one black person to be your friend is like a shield. Yeah, I know.
You have to have 5 black friends.
Right.
And then you're safe.
I think it's possible that the dad is just an edgy meme lord and that he's actually totally fine with black people. But I also
can I hear those words again?
Yeah.
But I've always acknowledged. Wait, yeah, of course. Wait, I said at the beginning of this discussion that the "it's just a joke" thing isn't always a bad argument. I've made that argument.
Please say those words again, though. I know. I just loved hearing them. They were just beautiful. They were music to my ears. They were Chopin in the later years. Please say.
Are you under the impression this is a concession on my part?
Oh no, my God.
I'm not.
If you just like it, if you just like the sound
can't
of
make
voice,
any
I'll say it real nice for you,
course,
okay?
Oh,
it is entirely possible that the jokes don't belie an underlying racist intent.
No, that wasn't exactly it.
Oh, I forget the exact thing. That's basically what I said.
Though, right? Basically, he's not racist. He's just an edgy meme lord. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. That's totally possible. But it's also possible. And the second thing I was going to say is that that's not the case, and that he's just faking being okay around Tyrone because Tyrone's 6'8", and actually
so he's fucked either way.
No, I'm saying the jokes on their own aren't enough. You have to discuss the underlying intent. Inductive reasoning is difficult. It's not as easy as just looking at statistical information. That's an easy discussion. Just find data that pertains to the question.
Let's go back.
Wait. But I want to ask you. Wait. So really quickly. So about the dad. So first analogy. He's weird about the daughter dating a black guy. Okay. So how do you think I would feel if I'm the dad's son? So I'm the son, I guess. And I walk up and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, I feel like you're being a little bit racist about my sister's boyfriend. That's a little strange." And he's like, "Ask me about black people." Well, that's one way to go about it. Or he says, "Ask me how I feel about black people. Ask me, do you love black people? I love black people." Oh, damn, I guess there's no issue then. The problem is what you're doing. Wait. Okay, but now I'm going to make a prescriptive argument to you, okay? I'm going to make the assumption.
Any examples of me acting weird with black people in the real world or anything like that, or me acting weird with minorities?
No, not at all. Not even slightly. No, but I knew racist people in high school who also got along just fine with black and brown people. So it doesn't mean much to me.
Well, if they were racist, they were very fucking shit at it.
No, you can be racist internally, but you can still like have black and brown friends. Yeah, you're literally giving the like black friend argument right now.
That's like a low tier fucking racist, though, isn't it? I mean,
you can argue it's a low tier. Well, that's the thing. And here's the big.
This is a problem because we've gone all over the place, right? Because the original accusation was fucking white supremacist. That's a high tier accusation. That's a bold claim. This is the Mott and Bailey shit that was going on here.
That's what I was saying. Is this the Mott or the Bailey?
Right. The white supremacist is like, bam, that's like top tier insult. And then it gets, you see, it's been downgraded all to, well, you could have implicit biases underlying your subconscious mind that aren't really your fault, but because you live in a society, that has a dominant white culture, blah, blah, blah. Like, how fucking far have we fallen from the term white supremacist?
Blah, blah, blah.
How far have we, and how much have we degraded the term white supremacist, too, in this conversation?
Oh, yeah.
How much damage has Vaush done to the term white supremacist?
Can't even use it anymore. What are we going to do when the real white supremacists show up? Everyone's going to laugh in our faces. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.